Today is Tuesday, August 16th, and this is William Michael of the Classical Liberal Arts Academy. Yesterday, I posted a video talking about tutoring. I gave an update on tutoring sessions, how things were going, a few observations based on those experiences that I've had this summer, getting tutoring started. And overnight, I was thinking about the spaces that I have left in my schedule heading into the new school year, and what might be the best possible use of those spaces. And I'm not necessarily sure that private tutoring is the best use for all those spaces, so I'm going to reserve some of those spaces for group sessions that I'd like to talk about a little bit in this talk. So while there's still some room left in the schedule, I'm going to reserve, I think, 6 sessions, 6 one-hour sessions, a couple of the days of the week. And I'm going to set up 6 group meetings or 6 study groups, which will basically be group tutoring sessions for students in a number of different important subject areas. Believe it or not, the course that I receive the most requests for from parents to help children with is Aesop's Fables. The parents have really loved the Aesop's Fables class. They find the stories and the meditations to be really helpful, and they've been asking me if I would continue producing videos that provide explanations for the fables and things like that. And I think what I would rather do is offer, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not going to do that, but what I would like to do is offer one weekly meeting for any students to join that would study with me through Aesop's Fables. So each week we'll read a fable together. We'll talk about that fable. We'll talk about the moral lesson of the fable, maybe some different moral lessons in the fable. We'll talk about the characters in the fable. We'll talk about how the fable can help us in our lives, and then the students can all go and work independently and get their assignments done and get their course credit and things like that. So it'll help them with the study of the course, but also give us some time together for a group tutoring session. Another course or subject area that I'm going to offer group meetings for is Latin. It's just going to be a Latin studies group, and it's going to cover Latin reading, Latin grammar, and Latin vocabulary. So any students who are studying in those courses and would like to participate in a weekly group meeting, they can enroll in this weekly class meeting and participate with other students in a Latin studies group. And we'll just talk through the lessons. We'll talk about topics in the lessons. We'll go through Latin reading together, talk about how Latin grammar informs Latin reading. We'll talk about the Latin vocabulary lessons. And we'll just use that 45 minutes or so to immerse the kids in discussions about topics related to their Latin studies and so on. I'll do another class for Greek studies, so we'll serve both of the classical languages and provide weekly meetings for the kids studying those subjects, or who want to study those subjects and haven't started yet because they may just not feel that there's enough support for them to do so. We'll do that. I'm going to also offer a philosophy studies group for students working in ethics or reasoning, natural philosophy, and so on. We'll talk about philosophy. So that's Aesop's Fables, Latin, Greek, philosophy. One my wife asked me to do. My wife asked me to do a group meeting for English grammar, just to help students become more comfortable with English grammar, all of the topics in English grammar, and so on. So we'll do an English grammar group meeting that will probably cover both grammar and composition. And then lastly, I think a mathematics group meeting where we'll cover high school level math topics and also add to it some classical math studies, just immersing ourselves for an hour a week in discussions related to our math studies, just making sure everything's clear, talking about lessons, allowing students to ask questions, and so on. So I can see right off the bat 6 group meetings being helpful for students. And one of the benefits of group tutoring sessions is we can take the price of a tutoring session for one student, which I was offering them this summer just to get started at $25, but that price will likely climb higher in the future, just so that I can cover all the costs of putting these hours in on live work. But the group sessions make tutoring sessions and the benefits of tutoring sessions available to more students for a fraction of the cost. So a student can have a tutoring session, enjoy working with me, get help from me in their studies, but also enjoy meeting other students and collaborating with other students working in the same courses. And it would only cost a fraction of what a tutoring session would cost. So the price to participate in these group meetings, which are going to be an hour long, is only going to be $5 per meeting. So $20 for a month will provide 4 one-hour classes, or 1-hour group meetings, I should say, for one student. And we can take the price of tutoring sessions and cut it by, a great deal to allow more students to participate in tutoring sessions. And I think the kids will enjoy that. I know I'll certainly enjoy working with the kids live. We'll do this through our normal Google Meeting video meeting software, so nothing special will be needed. There will simply be a weekly meeting link for those who enroll in this, and you can join me at that time. Students can get started in these weekly meetings at any time because we're just going to constantly cycle through the courses. I really want to just immerse the kids in discussion about these subjects, allow them to freely ask questions regardless of what lesson they're on. I'd like to challenge students who are advanced in their studies to try and answer questions and develop their mastery by explaining things to other students. I'd also like to challenge younger students to see what the older students are capable of doing. I'd like for all students to see and hear the thoughts and the fruits of the studies of our best students, because it's inspiring and helpful for all the students to see what the other students are capable of. It also allows students to find classmates that they get along with and are interested in staying in touch with through the week. They can connect with each other through the messaging system on the study center. And it just builds much more of a community among the students and supports their studies. This won't be a silly chat meeting or anything like that. I'll be directing these meetings. They'll be focused on the studies. But like I said, students can join at any time. We'll just always be cycling through these courses and topics, talking about things, working together. And it's intended just to be a place for support for the students while they work through these important subject areas across the curriculum. I may add a few more of these group meetings. Realize that I'm simply blocking off tutoring session spaces that remain available and using them for group meetings instead. And if these group meetings become popular, we'll just let the number of students in a group meeting get up to a certain number where it starts to feel chaotic, and then we'll divide them and just make some new groups. And if these prove to be very popular, we may just allow these to continue to grow in number, to serve as many students as are interested. So, like I said, these will be available for students at just a fraction of the cost of tutoring sessions, and yet they'll offer many of the benefits of those tutoring sessions. You can find these. They're available already for sign up in the Academy catalog. If you go to the Academy catalog on the main website at classicalliberalaarts.com/catalog, and you select the tutoring category, within that you'll find group tutoring, which is a new category, and you can look through the different groups that will be available and when they'll be available. And if you have a student interested in joining us for those group meetings, and the times work out for you, you can go ahead and enroll that student in that group meeting. I'm also going to make it possible for students to simply participate in one meeting occasionally. That'll be a separate link, but I'd like to see what kind of interest there is in regular weekly group meetings. And if you purchase this group meeting enrollment, there's no problem if you can't make it every week. It doesn't have to be something binding or miserable. It's just for regular weekly meetings. If you miss a meeting, it's okay. I'm not going to take attendance or anything. It's just intended to help the students with their studies in these different subject areas. So the students can come as often as they're able. But like I said, if something comes up, it's no big deal. It's not like a formal class where there's attendance, and if you don't attend, your grade may diminish or something like that. They're just meant to help the kids in their own independent studies in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy by providing some discussion, some Q&A time, some collaboration opportunities between the kids, and so on, that I think will be very helpful for them. So if you're interested in these group tutoring sessions, it's a great opportunity at I think a good price for what's going to be available. You can enroll students in these groups by simply going on the catalog, going to group tutoring, and then selecting the groups that you're interested in. You'll just have to enter the name of a student that you're enrolling in the group. So I have an attendance sheet just so I know who to let in when the group meetings begin. And you can enroll multiple children in the family if you wish to, but you just need to enter their names separately. And these meetings will begin the week of Labor Day, which is actually the week before the fall term formally starts in the Academy. So Tuesday, September 6th will be the first day that these groups start to meet, and then we'll meet throughout the term, throughout the year. And next year, when we get to the end of the school year, we'll decide if we want to continue them through the summer, since most Academy students study through the summer, or if we want to take a break. We'll take holiday breaks and things like that, but we'll have these meetings regularly. So if you're interested, go ahead and get signed up. That'll give me an idea of how many students are going to be in the groups, and I'll plan on meeting with them for group tutoring sessions in these important subject areas starting the week of Labor Day in September. I hope that's helpful. God bless.